What's going on today, YouTube? How we all doing? We are back today with another formation guide. We're doing the 4-1-2-1-2 in the narrow variation. The second variation, we are going to be teaching you how to play any Tiki Taka style of play. Please ignore this squad. This is not my main squad, as you guys have seen in the other videos. This is just the squad I've been using for objectives. So yeah, let's get straight into it here. We're going to go to custom tactics. We're going to head over to our attacking formation. So, guys, basically with the defensive style, there's two ways that we can go about this. We can do the press after possession loss, or we can do pressure on heavy touch. The pressure on heavy touch is going to be a little bit more conservative. You're not going to be quite as vulnerable to getting caught out in counterattacks. But the press after possession loss, you may be a little bit more vulnerable to counterattacks. So this one is completely up to you. We're going to go with 4 width, 4 depth. Actually, we're going to go with 5 width just because it is a very narrow formation as it is. And 4 depth, this can again go higher depending on your backline. These will pretty much stay the same throughout most of these formation guides because it's dependent on your backline. If you have a fast backline, consider maybe pressing a little higher in the midfield, and you'll tend to find yourself dominating possession. But if you go, if you go up against someone that's got like an Mbappe or something that's just constantly bombing and runs behind, I would suggest knocking this back down to 4 or 5. So we're quick overview: pressure on heavy touch or after possession loss. Gonna go between 5 to 6 width and 4 to 6 depth. So for the offensive style, we're going to go with fast build up. Like I said, it's going to be the Tiki Taka style of play. So this is going to give you a lot of opportunities of guys getting into certain spots and filling in areas and filling in open spaces to prevent or to give you as many passing options as possible. So we're going to go with a little bit more wide here. We're going to go with 6 width there. Players in box and corners and free kicks, these are all just going to stay the same. These really don't have a ton to do with the pace of play or the style of play. This is more personal for you. If you like more guys in the box or corners, up that. If you don't, just keep it whatever. That's more of a personal thing that doesn't really have a ton to do with the tactics of this formation. So this is all personal. Obviously, the higher you go, the more vulnerable you are for a counterattack. So there's the formation right there. Going into the instructions, guys, these are very, very, very important. We'll start with the back line here. So we're going to do stay back while attacking with both the fullbacks, obviously, because of counterattacks. Conservative interceptions on both the fullbacks, because this is a very narrow formation. There's not going to be a lot of winger support. So you want them to be as conservative as possible and make it so they keep the attacker in front of them as opposed to letting them run around or behind. So stay back while attacking, conservative interceptions, and overlap. These, there's really no interlap. If you were running, not interlap, inverted run, they're going to really be straight in the center of the pitch. So we're going to set this to overlap for both the fullbacks. The defensive midfielder, just guys, ignore the names. I know they're all out of whack. I don't use this typical formation in squad battles or whatever for objectives. So just please ignore this. So for the defensive midfielder, we're going to do cut passing lane, so they are more apt to get in the interception or in the passing lane, so we can have some more interceptions in the defensive midfield. We're going to set this to drop between defenders, since you already have plenty of midfield cover. You don't need them to be kind of like the advanced defensive midfield role. So we're going to set this to drop between defenders, so they really are going to be that pure defensive midfield role. Aggressive interceptions, we're going to get them again in the passing lanes, and then cover center for your defensive midfielder. Both your two central midfielders, your left and right central midfielders, they both have the exact same thing. Balanced attack, stay on the edge box for cross. Obviously, we don't want them going bombing forward for crosses. Normal interceptions, these two positions are going to be very, very neutral. We're going to set them to stick to position. I've tried the free roam with this. It doesn't seem to do too much. It just kind of seems that they drift wide. With this one, you really want them to stay central, so that way you're not getting caught out in the midfield, or if they get a quick counterattack, you can at least pack the midfield. And then cover center for both of them, as you can see. If we can get to him there you go. So it's all the exact same stuff for both the two left and right center mids. Moving on to your cam, come back on defense. As always with my formation guides, this is going to be the one that you control and you defend primarily with. Stay on the edge box for cross. This is a personal one. If you feel like you don't get counterattacked that often, you can have him go flying in the box for a cross. I personally just like to cut back a little bit more, so I have him stay on the edge of the box for cross, because I do like to cut inside and cut back. Setting him to free roam. This is the most important part of this entire formation, is having your central attacking midfielder in a free roam role. This is what allows you to have the Tiki Taka style of play, because that central attacking midfielder will be roaming around that entire midfield and attack, getting into spaces and filling the gaps where you can, potentially find him to slip someone else through on goal. So this is super important. The most important part of the entire video right here is having your attacking midfielder on free roam. Aggressive interceptions, again, just to get in some passing lanes and, control the AI, so the AI will be a little bit more aggressive in the attacking third. Now, the second most important part of the video. To play this formation, I've always believed that you need a fast, pacey striker alongside one that is maybe not necessarily slower, but one that is gonna say stronger. Someone like not to the extent, but like an Olivier Giroud, where he can really back into the defense and collect the ball at his feet and have players run around him. That is what I like to do. Obviously, these are not two players that I would do this with, but I would say Raheem Sterling to the target man. He would be the Olivier Giroud type role, where he's going to be backing into the feet of defenders and getting the ball and looking to feed players around him. And Anthony Martial is a very good player for this role. So if you're considering doing that, Anthony Martial, great shout there. Balanced with, this is something we kind of play with, staying central in an already compact formation really kind of congests things in the center of the pitch. So we're going to set them to balanced with, again, target man, normal interceptions, and basic defensive support. We don't want them to, we don't want your target man striker to get too far back. If you'd like and you want him to kind of come deeper to get the ball in the midfield, then you can set him to come back in defense, but I feel like that could congest the midfield a little bit more than it needs to be. Moving on to the left striker or your right striker, depending on what you choose. This is going to be the one that you have as your pacey striker. This is going to be the one that you want to set to get in behind, because this is the striker that is going to run off your primary striker and your cam. So in a sense, you're going to kind of have a cam, center forward, striker kind of stacked in a line in a sense, kind of all making runs and free roaming around each other. But regardless, one of your two needs to be target man, the other needs to be getting behind, normal interceptions, basic defensive support. You probably like to set him to stay forward, just for the pacey striker. That is completely up to you. If you feel like he's getting too far forward but he's not presenting himself as an option, put him in basic defensive support. Other than that, stay forward. Again, with these, you can go aggressive interception. It doesn't make a massive difference, but it does do it slightly enough if you are a counter-pressing team or a team that does like to sit high off the pitch and press. And then as far as that goes, I mean, that's about it for the rules. Obviously, that's up for you to decide. So yeah, this is going to be the 4-1-2-1-2 in the second variation with Tiki Taka style of play. There's millions of different ways that you can play in this formation. Tiki Taka possession, side to side build up. There are many different ways. This is a very, very stable midfield. And this is a formation that I know a lot of pros play, and I myself will be playing probably about 70% of the time in weekend league with my actual personnel on the pitch. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I will leave in the eye in the top right corner a link to my last formation guide, which is the 4-2-3-1. Go check that out if you're looking for some more formations for this upcoming very first weekend league. Guys, best of luck to you in all of your Foot Champs games this weekend, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace, fellas.